What's up, guys, and welcome back to another FSP Transmissions video. Today we have a 68 RFE out of a 2008 Dodge 2500. Now when the customer dropped this off, he said that high gear was slipping and the transmission had no lockup whatsoever. Now once we got the vehicle in and we put it on the scanner, we found a P0871 valve body code and a P0740 torque converter code. Let's flip this thing over, get into this thing, and see what we find. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content we make. It's not terrible. Definitely seen worse than that come out of here. Normally these things are absolutely torched, so getting one with a little bit of red still in the color. They don't smell too burnt either. Alright, this is your parking gear, this little ring gear here, and this is non-directional. Little snap ring, holds that on. And take a little magnet. Bink! Wonderful. You ready, Cody?
Absolutely not. Calm down over there, Leroy.
Oh, it's a little late down here in the shop and we're in the mountains, so you never know what's going to happen. You don't just want to let this fall over either. Splash fluid all over you if you break the bell housing. That sounds like somebody had some Taco Bell last night. God! Woo! Anybody want some hibachi? Bing, 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 bing. Magnet's clean, pan's clean, filter looks pretty good in there. You got a little trash there off something, maybe some silicone. Don't look too bad at all, honestly.
Maybe old boy got this in here early enough that it won't be too bad.
Yeah, because a lot of times, man, they keep driving them and driving them and driving them and driving them. And if you keep driving it, it's just going to burn it up more. It doesn't matter how much fluid you put into it. Like that one the other day that just pissed fluid everywhere. Like, once it's gone, man, it's gone. There ain't no saving it. Now, I always like to put this bolt back into the spot that it came out of. Yeah, fluid's got a little tainted color to it. It's pretty rough, but tarnished. Sorry, not tainted. Like I said, I like to put this back right where it came from, just so we don't lose it.
Or so help me.
Or so help me. Now we've got 6 8mm bolts that hold the valve body onto the case. Alright, now we got our valve body off. We're going to air test our second clutch here. And our fourth clutch here. Alright, this is your overdrive clutch here. The drum's got some walk in it too. See how it's walking to the side almost? I'm not sure about what that's all about. That's a little sketchy. Above that is your underdrive. Above that is your reverse clutch.
So you point at those holes without the rag, sorry.
Overdrive, underdrive, reverse.
Thank you.
And then if we move down here, this is your low reverse. This is a whole kind of drum. And this might spew back out at you. Alright, you got a snap ring here that holds this little pump cover. And you got to get in behind it. Tap it free.
Oh, baby.
There's your pump cover. Now here is your pump, and these are 10 millimeters. We'll go around and buzz these off really quick with the big gun. Alright, here's our pump. Slides right out. Now our drums slide right out as well. Alright, now I'm going to tip this up and get the rest of this fluid out of it. Snap ring tapered one way too. It's kind of dished. It's got like a dome to it, and that's got to face down like that. There's a good schematic in the book that shows you all your snap ring and where all your snap rings and where they go. Now I get some vice grips here, and you pinch onto a little shoulder on the center support because these things can be a bit of a booger to get out, and just kind of feel it and walk it out. We'll go through these drums, center support, that's your fourth clutch. Go through all that in just a moment here. There's your fourth hub, and you've got a bearing here, and you've got a washer down there to set your end play. I just like to keep this together. And always, don't ever wash these. I never wash these bearings. I always just spray them off with brake cleaner. Now there's a little snap ring in here that center support rides on. It's pretty flimsy. Planetary looks good. These don't look too bad. As long as they look pretty kind of like green. You see the green still? Looks like these here got a little warm. They're in the middle. That one's darker. See how darker it is? Yeah, they feel thin too. I am going to go ahead and pull this bearing off here. This whole thing comes out. There's your low reverse drum. This snap ring can be a little bit of a booger. Just got to get in there behind it. This is a sprag. This only spins one way. That locks. Lock. Feels good. This is your low reverse clutch pack. These seem to be in pretty good shape here. Not a lot of discoloration. You can still see the lettering on that one there. Yeah, you can see the lettering on all of them. That's a telltale sign that your low reverse clutch pack's in good shape, that's for sure. Now there is a piston down in here. You can see this. We're not going to go over that today, but you can see these two big circlips that hold this wave plate in, and this wave plate acts as your spring perch. Alright, here's our push-pull drum. This is your underdrive, overdrive, clutch housing, and your reverse clutch packs here up top. You take this bearing off, and now you got a snap ring that holds this plate in. I like to keep my snap rings close so I can put them right back in where they came out of when I'm done. Now you want to take a screwdriver and pry up on both sides here. Now there's your drive hub. This comes right up. And you got a bearing here. There's your reverse frictions. It's only 2. And you can see how hot these things have gotten. Extremely hot. Alright, remember we're not going to wash these bearings because they're terrible about going bad. These need to be tested thoroughly. You can see where the discoloration here is on this bearing. I don't necessarily trust that. Okay, now you have another snap ring here, but you've got to pop up. And this one's embedded like into this shell here on the outside. And again, I'm going to put this right on top of the other one, just so I can go right back in. And here's your overdrive clutch pack. Here's your hub, lifts right up. Oh yeah. Yes sir, these things are roast toast, absolute ghost. Go ahead and pull this other bearing off here. And let's lift this hub out. Yeah, when they get hot, they banjo like this, or ukulele, whatever you want to call it. But you can tell that the overdrive clutch pack's absolutely roast here. Absolutely toast. And looks like underdrive was on its way out too. When we get down in here, I'll be able to tell. This next snap ring is an absolute booger. Alright, we got a piece of the snap ring here broken. And right here as well. 2 little snap ring pieces are broken off. So, and the one end has a little notch on it where you can easily get to it, and that's not going to be the case today. This is going to be an absolute bugger. So this might take me a minute to get this snap ring out. And don't forget this bearing here again. Just be mindful. This snap ring is an absolute you know what. It'll eat your lunch. So wear safety protection when you're getting these things out. Always wear glasses and gloves. And it gets hung in this top groove, so it makes it, I mean, it does make it a booger. Ugh.
Yeah?
Yep. And normally there's another tooth here. Normally it's 2 teeth locked in, and it's broken it right there. Absolutely. I'm going to lift this up. Just kind of drop this. I don't know, underdrive might be okay here. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, there's one more snap ring in there. That's right. That is right. They got a little heat down there at the bottom, but you can still see the labeling there, right there. Still a good clutch pack there for the underdrive. Looks good. Here's your fourth clutch. And fourth seems to be in good shape there. That looks good to me. And we'll put on the micrometer to check, or the dial calipers to check. Those look good. There's no hot spots there in the steels at all, and it doesn't look like these frictions are starting to deteriorate by any means, so it's a good sign. All right, here's your lower planetary set. There's a snap ring that holds us into this hub. Walk that out. There's your first planetary there. Make sure you get this bearing off. Just like that. And this hub slides out. And your throat has got a little bit of marks on it there. I wonder if that bushing was on its way out there at the bottom. You can see some very small marks, nothing too crazy though. And that has to go in there the same way it came out. There is a carrier bearing in there, so be careful. Don't wash this. Do not wash this planetary in your parts washer. That bearing will fail. Always just spray it down with brake cleaner and get it nice and clean. You got to spend the 20 bucks on brake cleaner, just do it. Don't put it in the freaking washer. And this just falls out just like this. Alright everybody, we've got our 68 RFE apart. I've got to get over on the foot press and take some of these molded pistons out of these drums, but that's pretty self-explanatory. I did want to touch on this. We got this pump apart. Normally down here in this riding section where the gear rides, inside of the pump gear or inside of the gear body, that's a notorious problem for these things to go out when they overheat. But this one seems to be in really good shape. We're going to vacuum test this pump stator here, this pump body. It's part of the pump half, if you want to call it that. We've got to vacuum test the TCC valve, the pressure regulator valve, everything in here to make sure that we weren't having an issue with the pump. But I'm not going to get into too much of the valve body today, but there's an SSV valve in there that is notorious for going bad, and so we're thinking that was our cause for the valve body code, right? Torque converter code, they're notorious for going out. And the valve body, the SSV valve, that creates a lot of problems. A lot of times this torque converter clutch valve in here will be bad, so we've got to make sure that we vacuum test this. 9 times out of 10 we go back with a brand new pump in these things anyway. Here is your Overdrive clutch pack. This is why he had no 5th gear. This thing was ukulele'd out. And you can see it there, freaking all bent up. This clutch pack's roasted. I mean, just to give you an example, like that's a decent clutch. That's black. That's rough. That's disgusting. Planetaries were good. Everything else was okay. Lower verse drum was good. Second clutch was good. 4th clutch was good. Everything was good with that. But he did a great job bringing this thing in when he did, because he could have caused so much more damage if he continued to drive the vehicle. And he did drive it here. But if he would have put something behind it towing, like, yeah, it's going to keep causing you issues. If you're driving that right there around town, eventually it's going to get hot. This is going to create friction. It's going to break down, and it's going to get throughout your whole transmission. And then it's going to stop up valves, and then you're not going to have any kind of bleed by, and stuff's going to start to stick, and stuff's going to start to weld together. So he did a good job freaking bringing it to us when he did. We're going to get these molded pistons out of here. Yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like this content. If you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment what you think of this stuff. We enjoy making it, so we're going to continue. Hope you guys have a great day. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Cody.
We'll see you next time. God bless.
Later, guys.